Good afternoon. I'm Janet Shawnee Stubbert, and this is Scottish Voice. Kid míle fáilte. Cimar a háisibh Jew. Pour yourself a good hot cup of tea. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Good afternoon. You're listening to Radio Centre-Ville 102.3 FM on your radio dial. This is Scottish Voice. I'm your host, Janet Stubbert, along with technical producer and co-host, Mark Corman. How are you today, Mark?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Well, it's our last show of the year, last live show of the year.
It's true, the last one and the last live one, because next show, I have to say, I will not come into studio. It's the last day of the year, right? No, it's not. It's
Boxing
the 26th.
Day. Yeah.
Boxing Day. So I won't be in.
You'll be out shopping.
Yes, I probably will, or resting. And we are going to do a replay. We're not quite sure what one, but I know it'll be good anyway. So tune in next week regardless. So, Mark, today really is a beautiful, warm day here in Montreal.
Well, warm. It's cooler than it has been.
Cooler, but it's still beautiful.
No snow on the ground.
No snow, and we're not getting any for Christmas, I hear.
Nothing till the end of the year, from what I've heard.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I could live without snow.
Yeah.
I really could. I could live without snow. So today we're going to have a really wonderful show for you. Belfast Andi and Patrick Hutchinson have come into studio, so we're going to be playing live. They're going to entertain us for a whole hour. I'm going to try not to talk too much. I'm going to stay quiet and let them tell the stories and let them do their magic with music. We're going to start off, however, with New York City Christmas and Elizabeth Ann MacDonald's Jig. And I'll see you after that.
Call on your angels, come down to the city, crowd around the big tree. All you strangers who know me, bring your compassion, your understanding. Lord, how we need it on this New York City Christmas. Yeah, I'm sending you a merry New York Christmas and a prayer for peace on earth within our time. Yeah, the sidewalk angels echo hallelujah, and we understand them now more than ever. So call on your angels, you're beaten and broken. It's time that we're mending, so they don't fade with the season. Let our mercy be the gifts we lay from Brooklyn to Broadway, and celebrate each and every day of this New York City Christmas. Yeah, I'm sending you a merry New York Christmas and a prayer for peace on earth within our time. crowd round the big tree. All you strangers, you know me. Bring your compassion, bring your forgiveness. Lord, how we need it on this New York City Christmas.
And that was Elizabeth Ann MacDonald's jig. And we have Belfast Andi and Patrick Hutchinson in studio live today to entertain. And
Greetings.
Hello.
It's so nice to have you here. Thank you so much
Thanks
for
for
coming in.
asking us.
I know it's a busy, busy time of year, and everybody's running crazy, right?
Not me.
That they are.
No.
I take it easy, Jamaican style. Yeah.
Good for you. I'm happy to hear that. But, for listeners who are just joining in and don't really know you, I'd like you just to tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, originally I'm from Belfast, actually to be more accurate, West Belfast, a place called the Glen Road in Andersonstown. And I guess I left there in about 1988, went to live in London, and I guess that's where my travel started. I've been around Europe a bit, just visiting different countries, Germany, France, Spain, Greece. And from London I came over here, stayed 3 years in London. Living in a place called Camden Town, which was a beautiful place, a lot of Irish around there. So from there I headed over here for a visit.
For a visit?
Yeah,
a long one.
actually I came for 2 weeks, stayed for 20 years. Yeah.
Well, good reason for you to stay.
Well, yeah. Well, I've 3 kids now, my
Right.
lovely wife Diane, and our daughters Saoirse, she's 15, Aoife, who's 13, and Anya, who's 8, and given good Quebec names, Saoirse, Aoife, and Anya.
I was just going to say that. And your wife is Quebecois, right?
Yeah,
French.
well, she's a mix. Her father's French, and his great-grandmother was Wendat Huron.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, what a mix. And
Wow, that's
her
where she
mother's...
gets a beautiful look.
That's why, she got the high cheekbones and
Right,
the beautiful
yes.
profile.
Yeah.
And the dark hair, the
Right.
raven hair.
And your little girls are beautiful, beautiful.
Well, they're sort of a mix of us, because Aoife's sort of got reddish hair, like my family, but dark eyes. They've all got dark eyes, brown eyes,
Beautiful children.
Whereas we're all blue eyes in our family. But they're great kids, yeah.
Oh, they are. They're wonderful, wonderful children. And Patrick, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I've been here longer than that. I was born in the south of England, but we moved up to Scotland at around the time when sort of memory starts. Like when I was 3, my mum was from Scotland, and so I grew up. I grew up partly in the Highlands of Scotland in Argyll. That's where I did sort of my primary school years and everything, and then we moved down from there to Lincolnshire on the east coast of England, which was more like where my dad was from, which is why I probably don't sound terribly Scottish. And then we came over here. When I was 16. So I've lived. So I've lived here since. And
Wow.
and that was quite some time ago. I've spent like. Should I do the calculations? But certainly at least 2/3 of my life I've spent here now.
Really, that's incredible.
I know.
But 16, that's quite the move to make at that age. Was it difficult for you?
Well, it was sort of a natural kind of. It was kind of a natural point to change. I think it was why my parents moved then, because I just finished, I was just finished secondary school there,
Yeah.
and so it was. I mean, I would have been either staying on had I been there. Would have been staying on in like the sixth form, or else going off to a college or like working or whatever. So it was sort of a. And my folks had. I mean, we'd moved around. My dad was an Episcopalian priest, and we moved around a lot when I was a kid, like around different parts of Scotland and England. So I was fairly used to moving. I'd by the time I was 16, I'd lived at like a good like sort of 6 or 7 different addresses.
Amazing.
So
It is amazing.
so I've actually been much more sort of like stable in one place in Montreal since I've been in Montreal.
Do you like Montreal?
Well,
I guess
yeah.
both of you have made your homes here, and
Oh, yeah,
made our homes
you
here.
never
I mean,
moved back. No,
I don't think I could go back to...
no,
No, it's...
different world today.
It's a completely different world, and I find Montreal, it's like a mix of little villages, because it's a different feeling all around the whole city. It's, the summer's very European, and I like that.
Yeah.
And the thing about Belfast is it's a lovely place, and I still love it, but it's a very conservative place. you couldn't be who you wanted to be, you know.
Really, isn't
Yeah.
that sad? But I think that might have been a generalized thing. I think that I was born in Cape Breton, but brought up in Halifax, and I think that we were very, very conservative too, and you had to really, watch what you were saying and doing, and you couldn't be yourself.
Well, when I was a kid, I wouldn't say it was wild, but it was a bit different. I remember it was sort of like a mix of sort of punk rock and new romantic. I remember going into a store in Belfast. It was like a woman's fur and leather shop, and I wanted these bright red leather pants that were in the window, you see. And the woman said, "Hey, but these are women's pants." I said, "I don't care, I love the colour, like pillar box red, you know, I wanted these things." And she says, honestly, I said, "Look, how much?" I said, "But that's £60. I said, "Look, I've got £60, you see." And I went and tried them on, you see. I tried them on, I loved them. These were bright red leather pants, you know, and I tried them on, and, the woman said, "Son, you're not going to wear these to Belfast, are you?" I said, "I am."
Watch me.
I said, "I certainly am. I love these." And she says, "Okay, can I put them in a bag for you?" I said, "No, could you put my jeans in the bag? What about these?" She said, "You're going to get on a bus and go up the Falls Road dressed like that?" I couldn't care less, you know.
Oh, yeah, but what did your father say to you and your mother when they saw you?
Oh, they didn't really care. My dad would just say, "Oh, nice jeans, son. Lovely, lovely." That was it.
Oh, goodness. Well, we need some music.
Okay.
What are we going to hear?
You want to do the holly or?
Yeah, we can do that. This is actually, it was Patrick pointed out. It's a Cornish carol from the south of England or Cornwall, and it's you've probably heard it before.
From the Celtic
Celtic region,
southwestern tip, and it's a lovely one. This is one of totally typical of the ones that. I never grew up with any like Santa songs or anything.
No.
I grew up not so much in Scotland because it wasn't really practical to go carol singing because it was like really the houses were like miles apart. But
True.
But once I was living in England, I mean that was what Christmas was going out and doing the carol singing and singing all these same songs that people have been singing for like hundreds of years. And
So nice. That's beautiful.
Getting your mulled wine and your oxtail
That's
soup
it.
and whatever.
Traditional.
Yeah. And also, seeing as this is going on about the holly and everything, I mean, this is basically a whole bunch of pagan imagery that's pre-Christian that got adapted for a Christmassy kind of song too. So,
Okay. So the holly she bears a berry as white as the silk, and Mary she bore Jesus who died for the sin. And Mary she bore Jesus, our Saviour for to be, and the first tree in the greenwood it was the holly, holly, holly. And the first tree in the greenwood it was the holly. Now the holly she bears a berry as green as the grass, and Mary she bore Jesus who died on the cross. And Mary she bore Jesus, our Saviour for to be, and the first tree in the greenwood it was the holly, holly, holly. And the first tree in the greenwood it was the holly. Now the holly she bears a berry as black as the coal, and Mary she bore Jesus who died for us all. And Mary she bore Jesus, our Saviour for to be, and the first tree in the greenwood it was the holly, holly, holly. And the first tree in the greenwood it was the holly. Now the holly she bears a berry, as blood it is red, and Mary she bore Jesus, he who rose from the dead. And Mary she bore Jesus, our Saviour for to be, and the first tree in the greenwood, it was the holly, holly, holly. And the first tree in the greenwood, it was the holly.
Very, very nice. That's an old one, like you say. Beautiful.
That's, ancient.
Beautiful, beautiful. And the part where you're singing about the berry as black as coal
Yes.
reminded me of a story you were just telling me
Which?
about going for the coal.
About going for the coal and coming back.
Oh,
with
the
fat.
coal. Oh, yeah, yeah. My goodness. Yeah.
Thought you were getting a bag
was-
of coal.
Yeah, I was. Well, I was living in London, eastern part of London called the Isle of Dogs, and a place. There's a big place. It's gone now. Canary Wharf smothered all these old buildings, and there was a place called Dolphin House. That was probably about 1989, and we just moved into this old building on the third floor, and it had a fireplace. So at the time, my girlfriend Maria, she was a English girl of Irish parentage. Her parents were from Kildare, McCarthy's, and I decided I would go out as it was winter and get a bag of coal. So all I had was a motorcycle, and I couldn't put that on the bike, you know. So I walk about a quarter of a mile to the gas station that sold coal, the big bags outside, and I said to the attendant, "Is this the coal?" "Yeah, man." It was like a Jamaican guy, you see. So I paid him, picked this big bag of coal up, and decided to carry it back the quarter of a mile, and near killed me. I had to open my jacket, I was sweating, the heart was pumping. So I get back up to Dolphin House, and I climbed the 3 flights of stairs with this huge big bag of coal. Now I get into the bedroom, drop the coal beside the fireplace, lay in the bed, get my breath back, and decided, get the kindling, I'm going to make a fire. So I got the newspaper, rolled it all up, cut the bag of coal, and wasn't a big bag of spuds. Potatoes I just carried a quarter of a mile up there. So my girlfriend says, "Well, did you get the fire going?" I says, "No, but if I had some coal, we could bake these potatoes." And that was it. That's a true story.
And that was in December when it was
That was
cold.
in December. Talk about Paddy in London, you know.
Yeah. You sound like a punchline for that, for sure.
All right, it's time, I guess, we have to keep you guys singing here.
Keep us busy.
Yeah.
I'll do this one. I was just trying to noodle on this one there. That's about the only strictly Scottish Christmas one I know, but it's in Gaelic, and I don't have the Gaelic. It was the Christ Child's Lullaby. Anyway, I might work my way up to that after, but I'll do this one. I'll sing a Scottish tune in French, actually, that I associate with. You knew Kirk McGahey.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's I first heard this. I mean, I know the tune is Robbie Burns, He Banks and Brays.
Oh, beautiful.
But when I remember when Kirk put out his first his Aurealis cassette there, he was singing this song in French in his sort of Scottish accented French.
Oh, that must have been funny.
With Kate and Anna McGarrigle backing him and stuff. And I was going, I know that tune. And there are in fact there are Quebec words to it, which are it's not a translation; they're completely different ones. But I think Bottine Souriante did a version on their Temps des Fêtes kind of album there. So it's a song about good cheer and stuff. So I'll give it a little whack at that, and you know.
Sounds good.
Il nous faut faire le tour de l'emploi des plaisirs de la table, que chacun prenne auprès de soi une brunette aimable. avec le vin et la santé d'une femme jolie. Et dans la joie, dans la liberté, où l'on passe si bien sa vie. Ce n'est qu'une superstition de compter 12 ou 13 tables, que chacun chante son propre chanson, chanter son jalouserie. Avec le vin et la santé d'une femme jolie. Et dans la paix, dans la liberté, où l'on passe si bien sa vie.
Well, we're back with Belfast Andi and Patrick Hutchinson, and that was a beautiful, beautiful tune that you were ending that song. That was a really lovely song, an old one, right?
Yeah. Well, it's I mean the way that tunes travel around. I mean, there's those words. There's the Robbie Burns, Ye Banks and Braes words to it, and then I come here and I find there's. I mean, I think your man from Botin Soriant, he apparently Kurt got it from him, who got it from some old guy like out in Saint Cuspido de Trospidoun, as Bob would say, or whatever, somewhere out in the dans les régions, and so they travel around. But the tune we were playing after there with the Baran, I'm not sure if you caught that one. That's one I often put after, which I mean, Kirk is obviously no longer with us. Who miss him, and the tune after The Boys Lament for His Dragon is one I for sure first heard from Bard, and with Toby Kinsella, who I remember the first time I came to Radio Centre-Ville was probably to go on Toby's show, because he used to do the Irish show. Right. And also my folks, when we first came to Canada in '78 to Quebec, my folks were up north, and they went to. Once they were settled in a little bit, they went in, like the records hadn't arrived or whatever, so my dad goes into whatever the sort of furniture shop in Saint-Gervais that sold records too, and said, what's going on with like the local, what's going on with traditional music around here? And the guy sold him a Bard album and a Jean Carignan album.
Wow!
So, so that was how. And my folks were, and they were super impressed by Bard. They went to see Bard. I never actually saw Bard play per se.
No,
but,
I didn't either.
But I mean, Andy's played with Toby and Chris Crilly also.
From Bard, but I've never actually seen them.
Yeah, great loss, right?
I have a couple of their albums though on disc.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, and CD. Beautiful stuff.
Well, Chris has put them out again.
Yeah,
they're available at least on iTunes or whatever now.
That's true.
Yeah.
And,
I'll have to look for that.
It's well. They still they still sound great. They're as good as they're as good as anything else that was like you can put them next to like any Planksty, Bothy bands, whatever.
Very good.
No, it's good stuff.
So this is The Boys Lament for His Dragon.
Very nice. Very nice. But don't put it down. You have to keep going here, guys. We've been talking and
What else?
keeping
What
you
else here?
talking.
Well, I'm just thinking here, what else can we do with the old bow ran?
Okay. Here's a really old Christmas tune. This one is so old that the lyrics in it are in Latin, and I think there's lyrics in Latin and there's lyrics in like old Anglo-Saxon too. But it's a
great.
good. But it sounds like and it was like plain chant, but it sounds like a dance tune too.
Fantastic.
Well, we stuck a Irish jig, the Blarney Pilgrim, on the end of that. But the first couple of times around, it was Angelus ad Virginem, or like the Old English was like Gabriel from heaven, King, or whatever. And it's a tune that like monks or whatever would have been singing like probably like 1,000 years ago. But it sounds. I mean, you could dance to it still. Like
Fantastic.
Oh yes, we do know some contemporary Irish music from like the
which century?
17th century also.
Well, how about a Gaelic one? Do you have a Gaelic one? Well, Irish.
No, I don't really.
Well, Scottish Gaelic. I think, Patrick, you had one.
Well, not in.
Which one do you do there? Is it from Cape Breton?
There's one I do. It's not particularly seasonal, but there's one I do the way I always heard it, which is, I guess, what they call macaronic, which is when you have it partly in English and partly in Gaelic and partly in English. It's like one of the. I'm sure you know this one.
Oh, yes.
Hamiski smalimhin booneranach Hamiski smalimhin booneranach turn Cool and Toman Brian Toman Cool and Toman Foyach Cool and Toman Brian Toman Hilana mana Why should I sit inside Poo and bracken Why should I sit inside all alone and weary When I hear the plover rising and the curlew turning Then I know my mortal lover back to me's returning When the day wears away, still I gaze down the valley. Ilka sound with a stone fills my heart to swelling. Ah, but there is something missing. Ah, but I am weary. I'm a blithe and bonny lassie through the woods to cheer me. Ah, miski smalimhin, booneranach. Miski smalimhin, booneranach turn. Cool and Toman, Brian Toman. Cool and Toman, Foyach. Cool and Toman, Brian Toman. Hilanamana.
Hamiski. I am tired.
Yes, exactly.
That made your sock in Irish.
You don't have anything in Irish?
No, I don't really.
No,
it's. I never learned something just phonetically. I have to know what I'm singing about because I have to put my emotions into the song.
Right.
So I never actually learned anything phonetically in Gaelic. I speak
Right.
a couple of words, you know.
Well, you speak quite a bit.
On a couple of fuckle, as we say in the Irish. It doesn't sound nice, but
It sounds terrible in
know,
English.
I promise you it means a couple of words. Or Quanstru Guelga, ach no, on couple of fuckle. Pardon? Can you say that on the air? Yes, you can, because it's Gaelic. You can check that one out in Google.
Yes, just to be sure.
Just to be sure,
Just to be sure. Okay, what are we hearing next?
Well,
What you got in here?
there's a beautiful song. I heard you played a kind of rock and roll song about New York Christmas.
Yes.
Well, this one was written by the great Shane McGowan from London, who was lead singer of the Pogues. I think they got him back in there, and he brought this
They propped him up again.
excellent song out 1980s with
Kirsty MacColl.
Kirsty MacColl, who was the daughter of Ewan MacColl, the great
And
singer.
who also died 15 years ago yesterday.
15 years
Yeah,
ago?
yeah,
Really?
I think
Kirsty
so,
MacColl,
yeah.
yeah, she was sadly, she drowned in Mexico on a holiday with her son.
Oh, she was hit by some wazzock in a speedboat.
Yes, one
Oh,
of those
that's
boats hit her and she
Yeah.
went unconscious and she drowned sadly, and she was a great singer.
Oh, how
In her own
Great,
right,
great
you
singer
know.
in her own right, but
Yeah.
she did it. But she did the duet of it. So it's a song that sort of. I remember hearing Shane say it was based on something from J.P. Dunleavy or something. So it's it's sort of pretty self-explanatory. First lines: Christmas Eve in the drunk tank.
Was Christmas Eve, babe, in the drunk tank, and no man says to me, I won't see another one. And then he sang a song, the railroad Mountain Dew. I turned my face away and dreamed about you. God, I was the lucky one. Horse came in 18 to 1. I've got a feeling this year's for me and you. So happy Christmas, I love you, baby. It'll be a better year when all our dreams they come true. They get cars big as bars, they got rivers of gold, and the wind blows right through you, no place for the old. When you first took me hand on the cold Christmas Eve, you told me that Broadway was waiting for me. You were handsome, you're pretty, queen of New York City. When the band finished playing, they cried out for more. Frank Sinatra was swinging, all the drunks they were singing. We kissed on the corner and danced through the night, and the boys in the New York police choir were singing Galway Bay as the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day. Na 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 na. You know, I could have been someone, but then so could anyone. You took my dreams from me when I first found you. I put them with me, babe. I kept them with my own. I can't make it all alone, 'cause I built my dreams around you. And the boys in the NYPD choir were singing Galway Bay as the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day. scum, you're a punk, all slapped out and junk, lying there nearly dead with that drip on the bed. You're a scumbag, you're a maggot, you cheap, lousy faggot. Happy Christmas, me arse, I hope there's no more. And the boys in the NYPD choir, they're still singing Galway Bay as the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day. Na 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 na. Yes, I love you, baby. It'll be a better year when all our dreams may come true. Yes, I love you, baby. It'll be a better year when all our dreams come true. When all our dreams come true.
Powerful song.
Oh, it's a powerful song.
Yeah, one of Shane's. Well, he was. There's a lot of bands who sort of subsequently came out after the Pogues who were trying to sort of do like the sort of Celtic thing with like the sort of the punky attitude, but basically what pretty much none of them had except for the Pogues was somebody who was actually like a real writer who could write really good songs, and he has a whole bunch of songs that were it's like a whole sort of short story and like sort of characters and everything in a song.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
really
bumped into
incredible.
Shane. I bumped into him a couple of times. Once in London, actually, where I was living in Camden. He must have lived around the area because I kept seeing him in this Irish pub called the Liberties. And being Shane, every time I saw him, he was staggering around there, and laughing through his broken teeth and stuff, So I met him with the Dubliners one night up in Willesden. They had a concert and Shane was backstage. I was talking to the late great Ronnie Drew, who put a shiver up me. His eyes were like a wolf with a big white beard, He was, and that deep Dublin voice. How you doing? Right. Are you from the north? Yes, I'm from Belfast. Great. Good on you, man. Ronnie Drew, fantastic guy. But Shane, and I bumped into him here. He was playing in Montreal with a band called The Popes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Oh, a few years back. It was quite a couple of years back.
Too bad I missed that.
It was, again, he was like about an hour late for the show, so people were getting very sort of antsy and annoyed. But he came on stage right enough. 3 sheets to the wind as usual.
What a shame.
Yeah.
What a shame. Is he still around?
Oh, he's still around. I
singing?
think he's got his teeth fixed. He's cleaned his act up.
Oh, I bet he doesn't sound the same.
He probably takes them out when he's singing.
I think I wouldn't put it past him. He probably does. He probably has that same weird laugh.
Singing in Morse code,
He'd have to. I mean, really, because it would make a difference in his...
Oh, it would, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It's broken, rotten teeth, yeah.
So we have 10 minutes left. Would like to hear some more music.
Well, let's do some. We'll do some at Christmassy. It's not particularly Scottish, but it is Christmassy, and this is one that I always heard and I liked. And I heard a really nice version a couple of years back by I think it was Chrissy Hines singing it with Richard Thompson playing guitar. Okay. Anyway, this one. It's not as old as some of them. This is only about 19th century. Okay, but the music was by Gustav Holst apparently, and lyrics by Christina Rossetti. But I always like this one, and we're not really having a bleak midwinter here at all.
No, not at all.
There was when I woke up this morning, I looked out and there were these. It looked like somebody had spilt some little styrofoam balls on the pavement outside. There's like this little tiny, but it's about as close to being snowiness as we've got so far.
For a moment, you thought it was snow.
Well, it was. No, it actually
it
actually was. But
really,
it was like little styro balls. It looked like little styro balls.
Wow.
midwinter, frosty wind made moan. It stood hard as iron, water like a stone. The snow kept falling, snow on snow, snow on snow. In the bleak midwinter, long, long ago. What can I give him, poor as I am? If I was a shepherd, I could bring a lamb. If I was a wise man, I would do my part. But all I can give him my heart. In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan. It stood hard as iron, water like a stone. Snow kept falling, snow on snow, snow on snow. In the bleak midwinter, long, long ago.
Gave me shivers.
There's that one.
It's a
I mean,
beautiful
It's,
song.
it's sort of one of the old, like, kind of sentimental Victorian kind of ones, but it's a lovely one just the same. It's very
Beautiful.
beautiful.
Oh,
There's a whole
that
bunch
is
of other
beautiful.
verses. I wasn't going to
Yeah.
sing them all, but
I think
But
that
it's
the
a
old
lovely
ones
tune,
had,
yeah.
the old ones had many, many, many verses, right?
yeah. No, there are a whole bunch of them. I mean, it's
Beautiful.
if I was with a bunch of people, we're all singing them. We'd sing 4 or 5, but it's only I don't want to go through all of them by myself, like, but.
Wow, that's beautiful. I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
appreciate
That's a
you
lovely one.
sharing
That's
that,
a lovely
yeah.
one, that, yeah.
So we have
I was
7 minutes left, or 6 minutes, not too much longer. And I want to talk to you for a moment about your sessions. You're
Yes,
going to be
yeah.
performing tomorrow. You're having the sessions.
Yes, now tomorrow, McKibben's Irish Pub on Bishop Street, 1 o'clock until 4. So everybody's free to bring an instrument and come down and join us beside the roaring fire. They have a beautiful log fire there.
It's true.
Oh, do
they
they?
actually do. Eh?
Yeah, it's fantastic. And actually, last week I was sort of cold. My boran wasn't working well, so I put the boran in front of the raging fire, and it warmed the skin up. That's how you tone a drum, because
I didn't know that.
these ones are traditional borans with no tuners. So if you want to loosen it, put a little bit of water on it. If you want to tighten it, you put it in front of a fire. Or actually, I have used a hairdryer.
A hairdryer.
It's a bit more modern, yes. A little hairdryer,
Interesting.
you heat it up, you know.
Yeah.
But from 1 to 4,
1 to
and Bob
4.
Cusson will be joining me there to host that, and hopefully some folk will show up there before Christmas. It's nice with the fire going and the decorations.
Yeah, well, anybody that's downtown, is that the one
That's on Bishop Street.
Bishop Street.
1 to 4 every
Yeah.
Sunday, and I'll meet Patrick later at 5 o'clock.
At the Saint Laurent McKibben.
Just down the street
Yeah,
here,
the one in Saint Laurent.
between Prince Arthur and Sherbrooke, McKibben's on Saint Laurent.
We'll be there 5 till 8, and again, I mean, you never know. Sometimes it'll just be 2 or 3 of us. Sometimes there'll be a whole bunch of other musicians. We never know who's going to show up.
That's the fun, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because a lot of people know about it, and there's a lot of people who I think of as being sort of like birds of passage, that they'll be around for a while, and then you might not see them for a couple of years.
That's it,
and,
yeah.
Then all of a sudden they show up again, and you pick up where you left off, and
That's interesting.
because there's always sort of like a common sort of bed of tunes that people know. Even if somebody wanders in that you've never seen before in your life, you can usually sort of figure out a few things to play together, and then people come up and go, "Wow, how long have you guys been playing together?" And you say, "Oh, about 5 minutes."
Yeah,
5
that's it.
minutes.
Just,
Oh, that's really great.
Common
Yeah.
tunes,
Yeah.
Irish, Scottish, even some Quebecois
And
tunes.
it goes really across generations too, because I mean there were sometimes some really good young musicians who were I never let anyone my age or older get away with saying, "Oh, kids these days play music or whatever, because there's a bunch of young traditional musicians around who are I have a hard time keeping up with them now with like 30 years more experience kind of thing.
That's good.
There was a lass from Ireland, from London, from
Derry.
From Derry, who was just, I nearly said London. Derry. Where did that come
I was
from?
always saying that.
who was over studying here, and she was playing some wonderful fiddle. But then it'll go to, I mean, Gilles is probably about the oldest person who's
Gilles, yeah.
and Gilles Lozier.
Oh, does he still come down
Yeah,
to this?
Well, when he's in
Really?
town, yeah. I mean, he's back in New Brunswick now, but absolutely, when he was in town, for. And he keeps saying he's gonna hang up his piano tuning tools, but he never quite does. No, he comes into town for a couple of months at a time. And he stays at his son's place, and
Very nice. I'm
So-
glad to hear he's doing well.
so he's still playing. I mean, and so he's. I mean, Shill's going to be 80 next birthday. So
Is he really?
So we have a range pretty much 18 to 80 of people who'll drop by and play, and everyone's all united by the music. So
I think it's wonderful, and especially, like you say, for the young people,
Yeah.
because they can come in and join in and feel comfortable.
Well, it's good to see the traditions carrying on, you know.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like kids are still interested in trad music, you know.
There are a lot
Right.
of young Quebecois kids
Yeah.
who are playing great traditional music too. So
I just realized now we have under 3 minutes
Okay.
left, so
got a
just
quick
time
last thing?
to wish you all
Okay.
a very, very, very happy New Year and a Merry Christmas before that.
and yourself.
And
Yes,
to thank you so
and
much.
you too, of course.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to thank everyone for supporting us in the sessions, and musicians. And I'd just like to say, everybody who likes this, happy Christmas. And if you don't, 3 words: Pog Moch Oil.
I have no words.
But you know what that means. Thank you
I
very much.
definitely know what that means. And even though it's in Irish Gaelic, I still know what it means.
Yeah, you had the T-shirt.
I had the T-shirt with it on. Well, thanks again. I appreciate you coming in today, and I hope you'll come back and join me
Oh, of course.
soon in the new year.
It's good to laugh. Yeah.
I enjoyed it tremendously, and so you're going to play us out. We have like
I'll do them Shetland tunes. We'll do a couple of quick Shetland tunes.
fantastic
A
Belfast Andi.
place I would love to go, but I've never actually been there.
Time to get there. Belfast Andi and Patrick Hutchinson.